Good morning and welcome back to My Life's Toil. I'm Neil, I'm a 52-year-old man, and hopefully, if you've watched me before, you are helping me along the way to losing weight whilst using the Mounjaro weight loss injections. If you haven't seen me before, welcome to the channel. We have a really good community of people on here that help each other. It's a very supportive channel. Today is Sunday. Now, either Saturday or Sunday will be my weighing days. It's Sunday this week due to work commitments, and I only am now, having been weighing twice a week, Wednesday, which is jab day, and Saturday or Sunday. I'm now just weighing in once a week as it plateaued a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So we're going to do the measurements. I only measure my chest and my waist, and we'll do the weigh-in as well. And we'll have a little chat. It's not going to be a long chat today. So hopefully we can go through a few things and help a few people along the way. A couple of things to mention is people always ask, and I don't mind saying, I think we should share any support that we can offer. Initially, when I started 10 weeks ago, I was using Juniper, who supplied scales. They supply support and a tape measure. But I used to pay, I think, quite a lot of money for that. And now I use a service where they literally just provide the injections. I'm tossing up whether to move from the 5s up to 7.5s. I stayed on the 5 milligram injections for a second month, but we'll talk about how that's gone since I last jabbed. So let's get the initial measurements done. First, we'll do the chest. Now, last week, I always have to write this down. My chest measurements were 124 centimeters, which is 49 inches. Let's see where we are this week with that. Always try and keep it the same. Sometimes it's a good idea to get someone to help as well. Nice loose fitting clothing. So we're trying to beat 124 centimeters. Try and hold the same stance that I usually do. So 124. Now we are 119 centimeters, which is just around 47 inches, which is quite a drop actually. So really pleased with that. I have been obviously doing a bit more, nothing strenuous on the weights. I do use the gym. I aim for 3 times a week in the gym. I was managing once a week a little while ago, just due to commitments. But I've been a couple of times in the last week, which is always good, obviously. So feels like I'm firming up. And just whilst we're on that, a lot of people don't weigh, they don't measure, but they like to go on how clothing fits. Now, this t-shirt, or this top that I'm wearing now, with my trusty club that I support, Birmingham, this was quite a snug fit for me before, and it's certainly getting a lot baggier. So that is a good way of doing things if that's how you want to do it. Some people prefer the numbers and seeing numbers drop. Some people just go with preference to how they feel, and whatever suits you, really, that's absolutely fine, isn't it? So let's get on to the waist measurement. I always go around the tummy at the place where it was at its widest. So for me, that used to be right across the umbilicus, right across the belly button, keeping it straight, just like so. And I'll show you some before and after pictures today, actually. We'll put them up very shortly. But this week, my tummy, let me tell you what I was last week. My waist was 117 centimeters, which is around 46 inches. This week, we are 113 centimeters on the dot, which is about 130, which is roughly 44 and a half inches. Still going in the right direction. Really pleased with that. Let's get to the weight, shall we? So, as I discussed with you on Wednesday when I jabbed, I made the decision to go down to once weekly weigh-ins. Initially, I was weighing daily according to the guidance from Juniper, who I've stopped now. But it is a good plan. You just pay a little bit more for it, and you get some good advice when they get back to you on the app as well. But last week then, so only on Wednesday, it is now Sunday, but the weekend is when I'll be doing the measurements and the weights from now on. I was 116 kilos, which is 256 pounds, 18 stone, 4 pounds. Let's see what we are this week. So you will be seeing this live. I anticipate, to be totally honest with you, I think I've plateaued a little bit. So here we go. Let's see what it is. I'm not expecting it to be much different to the 116, but a pound is what I aim for weekly, really. So even half a pound in the last 4 days, I'll be happy with. Let's go for it. I didn't catch what that was. Oh, 114.5 kilos. 114. So just to recap, 4 days ago I was 116 kilos. I only dropped 0.1 of a kilo. Now, there will be little changes as we go through different days. You may fluctuate, and I've had some really good advice from some people. I think Aurora mentioned an idea to weigh daily and get an average for the week of what your weight is, which is really good because it obviously will give you that average. Some people do 2 weeks. Some people, as I mentioned, they don't weigh at all. I am going to weigh once a week, and I'm now 114.5 kilos, 252 pounds. I'm on the 18 stone exactly bracket. So a massive, for me, next Saturday, and I've got to wait until next weekend. It may be Saturday or Sunday. I don't know what I'm working yet, so I'll let you know what day that's going to be. I want to get into that 17 stone bracket. Now, as some of you that's seen me before, you may know that my initial target weight is 17 stone on the dot, which I think is about 108 kilos. If it's wrong, I'll put it on the screen. I'm really getting close to that now, and I will be going into week 11 on Wednesday. Is it too much too quick? Some people aren't losing as much weight. In fact, I had a message overnight from Roz, and she's really disappointed that she's on the 2.5s, and after 4 weeks, she's only lost a pound. There's a couple of things I'd say about that, Roz. It's still a loss. You haven't gained anything. And as I've said before on the previous videos, some people need to just go up the doses as long as it's safe for you. You're not having any nasty side effects. Just stick with it. Some people are slow starters. Some people jump on and get on with it straight away. Others, they find that it doesn't help them at all, which is really sad to hear. But we are all different. The fact that you are still losing, the fact that it hopefully will help you get into a really good frame of mind is a positive. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you for too long this week, guys. This is more just a catch-up, really, because we had quite a long video on Wednesday, but we will do a bit more in depth this Wednesday coming when I do the next jab. And we'll have a little chat. We'll go into the lounge now and we'll have a quick chat just about what the week ahead and how the past few days has been for me. So, welcome back to the lounge. Just a little recap about how the week's been since I started my second month of the 5 milligram doses instead of stepping up to the 7.5. So I've stayed on the 5s, and as with most people, the suppression doesn't seem to last the week because, as we know, the therapeutic range of tirzepatide in the system is only really for 5 days, which is why people have gone to microdosing and spreading the dose over the week. But for me, this week, it's lasted really well. But what I am trying to do is to train myself mentally to prepare for when I get any food cravings. And I think that's going well. It is hard work, as we know, being on diets. We've done it so many times in the past. There are certain times that we can hit it hard and hit it well, but it can be hard to maintain that. So I think, and I've said this before, and it might be going over old ground, but if we can use the Mounjaro as this tool, as an aid, rather than total reliance on the drug itself to just keep off any cravings, I think if we anticipate that there is going to be a drop off, we can prepare better and we can get it mentally in our minds better moving forward. And I think I've managed that this week so far. As I've always said, Saturday, which was that last night, for me, can always be that difficult period of the week where I would be more likely to crave something and not so much give in, but struggle. Whereas yesterday wasn't too bad. The other thing I wanted to mention was I've been drinking Huels, which have helped me in the day because it helps with fluids on the mornings when I'm a bit more nauseous. Since I jabbed into the leg this week, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I have felt different. Initially, it was a really slow uptake in my system. Usually, when I jab into the tummy, the cravings just go straight back off again. Whereas it was a really slow progression from the jab into the thigh. There is definitely something in sights for me. And obviously, I've read the research out in past videos about how sites are seen differently from research of people with subcutaneous injections, usually in insulin that was researched, but also it crossed over onto the Mounjaro and weight loss jabs in particular. But I think the legs work well. I think just that slow progression has helped somewhat. So it's something to consider if the site that you're using, if you've only gone in one site, it's something to consider giving it another go if that might help you if you're not getting the results you want, or if you feel that the cravings drop off a little bit quickly. And yeah, the food's gone really well this week. So I've been having the Huels. I'm going to change, and for the latter part of this week, I've actually tried a different shake meal replacement drink that my wife actually suggested. She saw something, and it was on a channel that she follows, and they were pushing this particular one. I won't mention who it is yet, but we'll give it a little bit of a go. But they actually help make you feel fuller, and it gives you all the nutrients as a meal replacement. Slightly higher calories, so it's 500 calories for a particular bottle of this shake. You get all sorts of different flavors, and I'm going to give them a little bit more of a go. Purely, I'm chopping and changing, I'm changing types and things like that. Not necessarily for me. Obviously, everything I do is ultimately for me, but I wanted to be able to try and help people where I can, because when people ask me, how do you find such and such? If I haven't done it, it's hard for me to give that feedback or to give my opinion. And let's remember, all of this is opinion. There's a lot of people out there and say, oh, you must do this, you must do that. No, you do what's right for you. So we're all adults, or we should be if we're on Mounjaro. Do what's right for you. And I'm doing a little bit of, I know that I'm getting the drug into my system, and the leg worked really well. It's nice and easy, doesn't hurt. We'll do another jab on Wednesday, and I think I'll go into the other leg. If anything changes over the next 2 days, I'll let you know. But I don't see, from what's happening at the moment, with a really good weight loss today, the food suppression's there. The nausea is much better. It's not great. The toileting habits are better. I'm managing that better. And do you know what? I've stopped taking any of the supplements. I'm not taking. I was speaking to a colleague at work, and it agreed really. We touched upon this, and I spoke to him afterwards. If you people going on about, oh, you need electrolytes, you need this, electrolytes and fluids. If you're loose, if you're passing a lot of diarrhea, obviously you need to replace those fluids and sometimes the electrolytes. But if you're fine, if you feel well, the only thing we want to be adding in is fiber to keep us going regular, and protein to help with any muscle loss alongside the exercise that we need to do as well. And I know I've pushed and I've been taking the Centrum multivitamins, but my diet is so varied now. I should get everything I need in that diet, and I feel no different. I didn't feel fantastic taking these supplements anyway. So that's where we're at with that. Things can change, and my mind might change like anybody's does. So yeah, if you make a decision on this plan, it doesn't mean you can't change. That's the good thing about having an opinion and looking after yourself. If things don't work out, change. For example, if you're on, like Roz said earlier on, the 2.5s and it's not working for you, at least you can step up. The only thing I will say, look at the sinister side effects, keep an eye on things, listen to your body, and go with that. Anyway, I promise that I'll do a few of the pics. This is just a quick, I'll put them up on the screen now. This was me at the start of my journey, and this is me today. I do feel a lot lighter. My joints are feeling much better, and things are definitely improving. So I just want to spread that little bit of positivity this week, guys, without going on too much. But we will catch up on Wednesday. Any questions? There are some questions that I'm going to get round to, and some really good comments. The comment for this week was about the average weights. I like that one. If that suits you, brilliant. Or if you don't want to weigh, you don't need to weigh. But get the questions, get the comments in, and I'll have a good session with you all on Wednesday. Have a really good weekend, the rest of the weekend. It's a bank holiday over here. So if you've got a day off, enjoy it. Don't fall off the wagon. Be strong, be positive. I'm here if you need me. I'm getting around as many comments as I can on there, and I will help where I can. I don't know all the answers, but if I can find out for you, I definitely will. And always remember, it's usually about opinion. Even medical advice is about opinion. But if I don't know the answer, if I can find it out, I will. But I will always guide you where I think you need to be if you're stuck. Have a great one, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.